What's happening, high tide traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, April 12th. Hope you're doing well. There was a lot of red in the sector today and also in the broader market, so the sector not immune to that broader market weakness. But overall, high tide was down one of the most today, and there was some news that they're going to be transitioning to a new CFO, so Chief Financial Officer. This caught me by surprise. Let me know if it did the same for you. But we'll take a look at this news, and then we'll take a look at the charts, the technicals, what to expect in terms of price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, isn't financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only, and never ever buy or sell anything based on anything that I say. And full disclosure, I do own High Tide. It's one of my top picks in my MJ portfolio. Before we get to it, make sure to smash like. It helps support me in the channel. And if you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future content. Also, you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And as a celebration of 420, Germany going legal, and Florida adult use on the ballot, I'm going to be giving away a gold membership to the Pow Group private community. So just go to the YouTube channel, click on the community tab, and then scroll down. All the details are here on how to qualify for that. And good luck to the lucky winner. This is the news of the day today. High Tide announces transition of Chief Financial Officer. So again, let me know in the comments below if this caught you by surprise, because it definitely did me. I didn't see this coming at all. But I don't think it's anything too, drastic. I don't think it's anything we have to worry about. So High Tide and the company announced today Sergio Patino have agreed to transition the CFO role to a new candidate who has already accepted the position effective May 1st, 2024. The new candidate's name and biographical information will be provided in a subsequent press release, so they didn't actually disclose it yet. As part of Mr. Patino's transition, he will remain engaged with the company for a mutually agreed upon period. High Tide thanks Mr. Patino for his services and wishes him well in his future professional endeavors. So at this point, it looks like it was probably Patino that wanted to leave. The fact that he's remaining engaged and working with the company tells me that there's no bad blood or anything like that. But if anybody has any other additional information, obviously there's going to be a subsequent press release. We'll find out more information. Probably just going to be mostly on the new candidate, though, right? And background, etc. And I don't think there's any bad blood or anything like that. So like I said, I don't think it's anything to worry about, but we'll see. Overall, the company is on a good trajectory. We know that they're doubling their store count in Ontario. The Ontario government has increased from 75 stores to 150 stores per retailer, so that's going to benefit High Tide and only going to help combat the illicit market and convert those users over to the legal market. So lots of work to do, and then expand to the rest of, there's still a lot of work to do in Alberta and British Columbia, and then also expanding to the Atlantic provinces. And then, as we know, Germany just went legal, Pillar 1, not-for-profit, cultivation, possession, and then social clubs, and then at some point, probably in 2025, 2026 at the latest, I would think, we should see Pillar 2, which will bring on adult use sales and for-profit, which will benefit High Tide. So we got a lot of work to do here in Canada, right? Expanding through Ontario with the doubling the store count, and then the rest of Canada, Alberta, BC, big markets, and then the rest of Atlantic Canada, and then tackle Germany. And then with everything in the US starting to ramp up, we could potentially see some reform there over the next few years as well. We know that rescheduling is mostly going to be just for medical. So Tilray mentioned that if they reschedule in the US, that's going to be huge for them because they'll have that medical channel, but it doesn't really benefit High Tide. As far as I'm aware, through rescheduling to Schedule 3, which I think is the most likely scenario, we also found out that the FDA had said that there's no reason for the DEA to be dragging its feet, essentially. And we just didn't see any reaction from that today. It was actually a bearish reaction today. But again, the S&P 500 was down. I said that the S&P 500 was more than likely going to see some consolidation and healthy pullback. It had been since October since we saw daily oversold conditions, in September since we had an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on the daily. And something similar is happening here on High Tide. We're heading towards daily oversold, and we could still be gearing up for a daily EMA 12 and 26 bear cross similar to the S&P 500. So kind of just tracking the broader market. But we did confirm a monthly uptrend on High Tide. But with that being said, in terms of trends, we're expecting a potential downtrend here on the daily time frame, closing near the low of the day today, up a couple pennies here after hours, but we have our high, low, lower high, and a potential lower low. So the most important short-term support is going to be 220. If we lose that going into Monday, then it's daily downtrend confirmed, and then we'll zoom out to the weekly time frame and we'll look for weekly consolidation, just meaning we're losing a little over the previous weekly candle. And then we have EMA 12 there on the weekly time frame and that level is sitting at 196. So that could be the next support to be targeting. But in terms of price action after 220, we have nothing until 158, which is a double bottom there on the weekly time frame. But in terms of the monthly time frame, everything is looking good. We did confirm a monthly uptrend here, and I'll just get rid of that. So we did confirm a monthly uptrend with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. So once we broke the high there at 230, that confirmed the higher high and the monthly uptrend. And we're gearing up for the first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So this is looking great. Last time it happened, it was a bear cross when those two crossed, and that was the first time in history as well. You can see here, we confirmed a monthly downtrend with lower highs, lower lows. Then when the price action, the price at that time when we saw that monthly bear cross with the shorter term above the longer term, in this case, the 12 and 26 period EMA, when that happened, price was at around 450 and went all the way down to $1. And now we're gearing up for the first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So this is looking fantastic. We're in a monthly uptrend. There can be pretty big pullbacks within, a bull market and a monthly uptrend, and we're going to see record high monthly volume this month. We still got 17 days left, and we're already at 15.64 million shares traded. The previous record was 16.566, so we should shatter that on the NASDAQ this month, which is great to see. And like I said, over the next couple of months, we should see that EMA 12 and 26 bull cross follow through, and that's more than likely going to be on some major news catalysts like rescheduling. We know safer banking as well could potentially pass. There's lots of talk on Capitol Hill saying that safe banking and rescheduling should happen and could happen before the elections. I'm still in the camp of thinking that rescheduling is going to happen first, then safe banking, uplisting the NYSE and the NASDAQ, and then we'll get full-blown descheduling similar to Germany and Canada over the next few years, call it. But I think rescheduling to Schedule 3 is imminent. I do think that it could happen this month. There's a very high probability of that. We know Florida's going to be on the ballot, so that could get approved and enacted in summer 2025 potentially. We have Pennsylvania. We have MJ Act here in Canada up for review, and the federal budget in Canada comes out on Tuesday next week on the 16th. So again, save the date. We could see a switch to a percentage excise tax, which would benefit these companies greatly and add tens of millions of dollars extra onto their bottom line mostly. So that is something else to be looking out for. 10 milligrams going to 100 milligrams for edibles. That would only be good, helping combat the illicit market, and good for High Tide. Ontario doubling their store count. There's so many things happening. It's really amazing to see. And then Germany, the rest of the EU following suit. We could see even more individual states legalize as well. It's usually around that fall time, the elections coming up. So going to be seeing MJ probably in a lot of political campaigns. We've already been seeing more and more of it. And it seems like every time you turn around, MJ is a focal point in Congress right now. So, Senator Elizabeth Warren saying we should deschedule it and fully legalize it, right? Even Kamala Harris saying, first time really saying that no one should be in jail for it, and it's time to basically effectively legalize it is basically the overall consensus and writing on the wall. So it's looking really, really good in terms of the weekly time frame. We are gearing up for a potential bear cross of the stochastic on the weekly, which is a bit concerning. But other than that, we're still well above the 10-week moving average, and the MACD is still extremely bullish. In terms of the moving averages, you can see we get very close to our 200 weekly. A lot of our names in MJ are starting to trend back to their 200 weekly. So we got very close. So not surprising to start to see us pull back a little bit after such a big monster move. And we are gearing up as well for the second time in history, a 50 and 100 weekly moving average bull cross. Last time that happened, you can see leading up to that, price absolutely skyrocketed. Then we had a bear cross, the shorter term 50 and the 100 period. Weekly moving averages crossed. We saw tons of downside. Now we're gearing up for the second ever. So there's only been a few times in history, and sometimes the first time in history where this has occurred. And at the moment, we do have the 50-day moving average there at 190. We're above all of those daily moving averages. But again, if we lose 220, confirm a daily downtrend, start weekly consolidation next week, then we'll be looking at a back test of around $2, $1.90. After that, you got some support there around 175. And then 160. So we also have the 50 weekly there at 156. So I think, somewhere around that 180 to 160 mark, if we do confirm a daily downtrend and lose 220 and start weekly consolidation, you might be, if you're looking for entries, again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but if I were looking for entries, I'd be looking somewhere sub $2 around that, $1.90 to $1.60. You could start to scale in, maybe add a bit at $1.90 under $2, again at 175, again at 160. That's probably how I'd play it. But let me know what you think of this news. The new CFO, again, we'll be seeing more information with regards to their biography and then, overall background. And I don't think it's anything to worry about. And it looks like they're still on good terms. Doesn't appear to be any bad blood by what I'm seeing. And in terms of the technicals, it's not surprising to see us start to pull back. And again, with the broader market weakness, not immune to that, right? So overall, I think over the next few months, we're going to gear up and see massive upside and price appreciation. Happy Friday. Hope you have a great weekend ahead. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.